And so I had dinner with Dale Allison, and I said, so when you were working on Matthew, when you're working on your other scholarship, and you're looking for all of the sources of the Old Testament, what the New Testament writer, what the early church fathers were doing, he interrupted me. He said, I'm going to surprise you. He said, St. Thomas Aquinas was great, but his master, Albert the Great, he was the master. He said, I have access to a lot of Albert the Great in the Latin. And he said, when I think I have found in the New Testament an intertextual echo of the Old, I check Albert the Great. If it's not there, I'm not sure I should trust my own judgment. But invariably, it's in Albert. Well, no wonder you graduate a student like Aquinas, because the foundation that Albert the Great laid in Cologne, Germany, for his future pupil, and then the future teacher of the Dominicans, you cannot understand something as great as Aquinas without understanding the foundation that he's based upon, And the order of preachers, they're not to preach the Summa as much as I love that. Yeah. They're to preach the scriptures the way Aquinas did, but also, his mentor, Albert the Great.
I don't know of many Catholics that read Albert the Great. So why is that? Is it because I don't know the right Catholics, or is it because Albert hasn't been translated and promoted?
I would say this. I mean, the renewed appreciation for St. Thomas Aquinas is still getting started.
Okay.
It happened through Matt Levering and Michael Dauphiné in the late 90s, Tim Gray and other people. Now we have a separate part of our catalog for Emmaus Road and Emmaus Academic. Emmaus is the publishing arm of the St. Paul Center. You can probably figure out why we call it Emmaus. But we have biblical Thomism, because ultimately biblical theology is such that, as Vatican II says, the study of the sacred page is, as it were, the soul of sacred theology. So doctrine is like a body, scripture is like the soul. Unfortunately, most of the last 2 or 3 centuries, you were learning doctrine, memorizing lists and such, but not studying scripture, because that was weaponized by the Protestants for the last 4 or 5 centuries. You never feel good about a book that was used to beat you over the head, as Frank Sheed once put it. And so it seems to me that if all you have is the body of doctrine, you've basically got a skeleton. Now, we need skeletons to stand upright, but on the other hand, if all you've got is scripture and Bible studies, apart from the solid body of Catholic doctrine, you've got a ghost, a soul that is not embodied. Only when you reunite the study of the sacred page is, as it were, the soul of sacred theology, do you have the body and soul. We are still in the earliest phase of the discovery of the patristic and medieval scholastic synthesis. And so Albert the Great will be discovered after we realize, how did Aquinas become this common doctor, this angelic doctor, his mentor.
Hey, thank you so much for watching. Before you go, do us a favor, leave a comment, let us know what you thought of the video, like, and subscribe.